No, Dr. Pepper's. My favorite shit is Coca-Cola though.
Oh man, Coca-Cola is great, but I'm definitely a Dr. Pepper guy. Y'all, welcome to the Mental Health Podcast. We are live. You know what I'm saying? We got my boy Eddie Rivera in the house. Give him a nice warm mental health podcast welcome. I appreciate you coming out, brother.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Of course, of course. Yeah, so I mean, let's kind of get right into it. I mean, you know what I mean? I know, but for the people that don't, what is it that you do and what is it that you find joy in?
I think at the end of the day, I do so many things that I pretty much consider myself a creator. I create things. I love creating
Okay.
and any platform and any arena. Like I'm an artist, I'm a barber, I rap, I speak to to the youth. I wrote a comic book. Like I could give you a
Oh
whole
shit.
list of things of a bunch of things that I do.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm pretty much very creative.
That's dope. I love creating myself. Being a photographer and getting into that aspect of life. It's pretty crazy, and it brings me a lot of joy. Especially when I
Right.
can have a group of people come down. We're all either photographers or videographers or something of that nature. You know what I'm saying? That we all just get together, create something crazy, and then we've all got
And
content to
those are
put.
all the elements.
That's
Like
it.
networking,
Hmm.
being social, because I do love to be social, but then there's times where I don't want to be around no one.
Mm,
So it's like stepping into different realms,
right.
but creating alone and also creating with others. And you need a balance of all that.
Absolutely. So when you touched on like those times when you don't want anybody around, like what are you feeling during those times? Like what's going through your head during those moments where you want to just be completely isolated and left alone?
So when I want to be isolated or left alone, it's when I'm spending too much time with other humans, because it's energy.
Right.
It we all have who we are when we are by ourselves,
Hmm.
and we like who we are 100% when we're by ourselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But not everyone's gonna like who you are 100%. So when we step out the house, we put a shirt on, we put pants on,
Yeah.
we put a mask on. We act a certain way around a certain crowd. So it takes a lot of energy to be around different people. We're around different people all the time.
All
You
the
could be
time.
around this group of people and that group of people and have to put on a different mask for each crowd that you're in, just because you got to be politically correct in whatever area you're at.
Right.
Right. And then when you're home, you could really just be you, and you don't have to hear put downs or disagreements,
Right.
or
You can create your own positivity, essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything's so full of negativity and people are so
right.
full of negativity where being by yourself gives you that opportunity to create that your
Just a safe spot.
yeah.
And I remember I was kind of like not in no relationships for 5 years, and I remembering how that felt and
Yeah.
how in control of my life I was,
Mhm.
and not have to hear someone nagging about, hey, turn off the light or put the music down. Or I was just in my own world for 5 years, and I didn't have to cater to no one else. I was just
Right.
in my world, and I realized, I was like, this is what life's about, you finding who you are. And in those 5 years, I kind of like completely found out who I was and what I like to do. And I wasn't a follower no more.
Right.
I think I was a follower for a long time in my life.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us are without even realizing it. We just fall into habits that, oh shit, all right, like, well, whatever, we see this guy doing it, so we're gonna do
Or
that.
whatever's cool. Like
Or trendy.
growing up, I used to be a nerd. And I'm talking about, I love comics, I love Pokemon cards, I love, I remember back then we had pogs, the little fucking circular
Mhm.
things.
Yep.
I liked everything that had to do with nerdy shit, like drawing, like. And then I remember getting older, and then like the street stuff kind of like becoming more popular in the urban culture.
Yep.
And now everybody wants to sell drugs, and everybody wants to be on drugs and spend all their money on bullshit clothes. It was just, and I kind of started becoming this follower. I grew my hair out. I did everything that I was kind of like against.
Yeah.
But you try to be accepted, and that's, it kind of like took me away from everything that I love to do. for a long time. So I became a follower for a very long time. And that's when, speaking about mental health, you start losing yourself and you start losing what your purpose and what things you like to do, because you're upholding this image that it isn't you at all, but you want to be accepted.
Yeah. I mean, from the get-go, from a very young age, we all have this just innate desire to be accepted wherever we go. You know what I mean? We will create whatever persona we need to interact with the people that we want to interact with, you know what I mean? Or just get a chance to interact with everybody and try to be these people. And unfortunately, a lot of people just get so lost in that they never come back from it. You know what I mean? They spend their entire lives getting injections and fillers and, new tits, new asses and all this shit.
Yeah.
Just
and in my sense, like with my things that was going, I started becoming a follower. It was pretty much the group of people I was hanging out with, and I created this world of drug addicts, because a lot of that, we're all going through something. We're all going through some type of pain. My mom was working 12 hours a day, never around. She was pretty much going through a breakup with my stepdad that I grew up to have a relationship with him. Yeah. Times are hard at home. So we found other friends were going through the same thing, and we kind of got together, and then we started smoking weed. It turns into experimenting with other drugs like ecstasy. We did all types of drugs back then. And
see, a lot of people I know go that route, but like I smoked weed and I just like limited myself to that, because like I had firsthand experience with people that I loved in my life that were addicted to so much shit. And I was like, dude, it's all going to make me like that. You know what I mean? And I don't want to do that. Yeah. So I was like, I just stuck to weed and like,
See, my mom, it's funny because you saw all that. Mom, the thing was, my mom protected me from seeing all that. And she should have, we're not all perfect parents, but I feel in my parent, like she should have, showed me. Or maybe she did and I didn't pay attention, but she protected me a lot from, she kept me home a lot. She didn't let me out in the streets. So I feel like I didn't get to see that. And I didn't have family members. I don't know if you had uncles that you were on drugs and everyone's hurt. Okay. So all my family members were in Puerto Rico. Okay. So I didn't have no uncles. My mom I just had an aunt out here. Yeah. And when my uncle passed away, her husband, he was a drug addict, but no one ever told me he was a drug addict. I just thought he was sick and he died. They protected me from that, I was younger. Right. So anyways, I never had that, oh my God, I got to really stay away from drugs so it killed people or that I loved. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then when we're, fast forward to all that, when I'm going through all that part, I only was talking about that part because some people never come back. People just get worse. And then it's OD, or you literally have, you kind of like lose yourself. Like I see people that I went to school with that are still on drugs and they're fried. Absolutely. They're not the same person.
There's no like iteration of them at all.
It's done. And it's done. It's like, it's over for them. Like there's no possible way for them to undo the damage they did to their brain. Right. Especially alcohol. Like alcohol is the destruction. And then you mix it with drugs that allow you to drink more alcohol. And it's just more destruction.
Oh yeah. Yep. I mean,
so I came out of that. You know what I'm saying? Good. Like, right.
That's awesome. Because it's not the statistics were never, the card was never stacked in your favor. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Everything was stacked against you at that point. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of people just don't make it. You know what I mean? I've lost so many people because like they've given up and they've either drank themselves to death, fucking smoked their kneecaps out, or they just got too involved in the street shit.
And then it makes you wonder, like, okay, why do some people change and why do some people don't? And then when it comes to me, the biggest inspiration for me to change was when I saw, I had my daughter. Even though I was fucking up for like another year after that, I know I wanted to change. And I just didn't know how to change. But okay, that was, my daughter was that thing for me. And then also tired of hearing people say like, that guy ain't gonna be shit. Like look at him, he's a loser.
Yep. So that was me all through high school.
That was also inspiring too. Like, yeah, I gotta figure this shit out. But you know, it still took me like another 10 years to fucking figure all that shit out.
I mean, the earlier you get started on the process, the sooner you're going to start seeing results. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it is just self-awareness and
Right.
being being aware and being mentally capable of understanding that you're not perfect.
And you're gonna make mistakes, and it's always gonna happen. There's gonna be new mistakes.
Mhm.
Hopefully, you learn from your old mistakes, so you won't continue making the same mistakes, and it's like a revolving door of.
I would rather new mistakes than the same mistakes.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
yeah,
100%. That's the journey. The journey is gonna be a bunch of new mistakes, but if you, it's not a journey if you're still making the same mistake because you're still in the same area.
Mm-hmm.
And this is information that I'm right now that I got to take for myself too, because sometimes I do continue making the same mistakes in different ways.
Right.
And it's like when I meet with people and we talk, I don't ever want to come to these podcasts and be like, yo, this guy thinks he's perfect. I fuck up a lot still, and I still make bad decisions, and I still ain't 100% the perfect role model. But I'm just a human being that's been through a lot of shit that I could talk about some shit, and I could tell you the things that helped me out to come out of certain shit.
I mean, and that was my whole point of this show, and why we even started it. Hold on, I want to take a quick break, and this is the 6-month for those watching. This is the 6-month anniversary episode. We started this, but thank you. We started this podcast 6 months ago, and I honestly thought it might fizzle out, or I wouldn't be able to maintain it or maintain the consistency. But I mean, we've missed 2 episodes in those 6 months, and I think we're doing great. So like, I definitely appreciate you coming in person to do this, because that just makes this episode that much more special. You know what I'm saying? So
I appreciate you guys having me.
Of course. Peace, my brother. Peace, yo. Thank you. I appreciate that, dude. He's a poetic killer. That's he's out of Boston. He was one of the guests that I had on. He was awesome. He was really cool. But yeah, so getting back into what we were talking about. You know, that's why I started this, is to give guys a platform to understand that, like, all right, fuck, this guy's going through it. So like, maybe I can get up there and talk about it and you know, share what worked for me, because what worked for my last guest might not work for you.
Mental health is one of the biggest crises going on in America, I think. Yeah. I say America because I've been to a couple different countries, and everything is different, so much different than America. America is literally a fucking war zone, a mental war zone.
Oh yeah,
we don't live by. I went to Thailand and I went to Italy so far, like outside of this country, and these people. You know, I went to Europe. I didn't see no obesity at all. Like, no, literally,
you won't.
One obese person. And then I went to Thailand, same thing. And these people are so about culture and respect and loving each other for the most part. Literally, I when I went to Thailand, I went with one of my friends, and I originally wanted to take this trip by myself, but I was afraid to go to a different country, third world country. That I'm like, what if I get robbed or killed or they take my organs? You know what I mean? Like, I had all these crazy
you end up
things.
You end up in pieces on the black market. So I asked
one of my friends that I normally wouldn't go with. I asked one of my friends. I said, let's go to. We ended up going to Thailand. And anyways, I get down there and everyone is so respectful and loving and appreciate. It was just incredible. And same thing. I mean, Italy, Rome was they were like city-like attitude, but still same thing, respect. And like I said, back to America, it's a wild place out here.
Oh, it is. And like the craziest part is most of like the mental health crisis was introduced by the people that are supposed to like keep us safe. You know what I'm saying? Like the greed ends up, you know, trickling down, and then, you know,
and this is controversial, but watching the news too much every fucking day, it's gonna drive you fucking crazy.
Oh, it is.
And I love watching the news. Sometimes like it's you know, it's a guilty pleasure where you just turn it on and you want to see what's going on. I prefer to see the weather and maybe some local stuff. But if it's constantly like this cop killed this person or these riots are happening here, like, I don't want to see that shit. It's sad. They should figure out ways to do that shit figure it out. But we choose to
we
choose
choose
to watch this shit, and we
right.
choose not to do it. And some people, you could be proactive to try to do something positive, and other people are. It's just a wild place, like especially the political arena, like
Oh
the
my god!
political
And
thing.
boy, is it a fucking arena!
And it is, and we've never seen that like this. So now everyone's fighting each other even more, and we're so separated as a country. And mental health needs to be spoke about a lot more, and people need to hold on tight because it's easy to like think about suicide. I've been there.
Same.
A couple times in my life. And then I realized I only thought about suicide because I didn't feel fulfilled, and I felt like a piece of shit because I didn't accomplish anything. And then I realized it's because I'm not improving. And then that's when I started improving little things, little by little. And then that's when I started at the gym. Like the gym is the biggest medicine for mental health. And nobody wants to listen to me when I say it, but
it's crazy.
Is a dose of fucking medicine every day.
I've had so many people come on this show and say the same exact thing. And I mean, it shows. I have friends that are the literal definition of it. You know what I mean? And,
right.
and watching them transform just by getting their discipline right. You know what I'm saying? Like
if I ever miss a day in the gym, I'm not as motivated. I'm not happy. I've noticed that when I go to gyms, when I go to a workout and I leave working out, I'm nicer to people. I'm just like, I feel like I conquered something, and I want to inspire other people to do the same thing I did. Some people get offended, but other people kind of like understand, like, this guy's right. And like I said, back to not being perfect, like my diet is bad a lot of times. Same. But I do stay focused on this. I mean, I love food, and that's a situation that I got to do better with.
Yeah.
But you won't see me miss a gym. You won't see me drink alcohol, do hard drugs. Like I'm so focused and dedicated on building my businesses and being a family man and providing value to everyone I come across.
Like, yeah, I mean, you do. I mean, you do a lot of community work too.
Yeah, I do as much community work as I can.
Especially
with the kids.
And that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? We were like, I don't think we were necessarily shown the proper devices as kids. You know what I'm saying? We weren't shown the proper way to go about and navigate life, but we can change that for the next generation and have them understand, hey, listen, like this isn't the old days of like bottle your feelings, shut the fuck up and keep on moving. You know what I'm saying? Like we can talk about it, like, especially at a younger age, feelings are big.
And that's another thing. If you don't want to talk about it, you truly don't want to talk about it, that's fine too. But you got to channel it somehow in some way. Yeah. Whether it's either creating art, creating poems, making music, going to the gym and being up a punching bag till it's not hanging no more. Like you need to channel that motherfucker. Either it's snowboarding,
there are millions of outlets,
ice skating, hiking. Like there's a whole list of shit that you could do to channel all those emotions and be in your mind and kind of like compartmentalize everything and put everything where it belongs and fucking move forward. But people don't realize that. They just like go crazy and shut down.
That was my MO for so many years. Not gonna lie, like I would just blow the fuck up and then I shut the fuck down.
I had an anger problem, and I think a lot of boys growing up do more so than women. Women do get it too. Like some teenage girls that have real anger problems. So
they're wicked, dude.
But I can't relate to that because I'm not a female. A lot of people talk about female stuff and they're not females, and I feel like they're not like qualified.
That's why I don't say.
Right. That's why I always talk about men and people.
I don't talk about it.
Be like, well, that happens to women too, and I'm like, I know it does, but I can't really.
But like, I'm addressing the fellas in the room
because I could be wrong, and then you're gonna take that wrong too. So
boom, canceled.
I let females talk about females, and I can only talk about males, and we got testosterone. Females don't have that flowing through the body, so I can only talk about testosterone.
Yeah. driven stuff. Yeah,
because it's different. And that's where the anger comes from.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a build up of. Sorry, Jenna's in the background going crazy. It's a build up of that testosterone, like
we don't
virtually overnight. You know what I'm saying? Then we
13,
get all that
14,
rage.
We don't know what the fuck is going on with our body. Like when we're going through puberty, and we get this testosterone thing starts pumping, you're just like,
all you want to do is beat off and beat people up. I'm not kidding. That is all that goes through our mind. Like, all right, cool. When's the next time I can do that?
To beat people
When's
up.
the next? Okay, so it's just me then. But no, I mean, like it's a sudden like explosion of
and that's emotions. And like back with women, they have the estrogen, right? Isn't that what women go through? That is estrogen thing. So it's like they know what's going on.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
I don't either, because that doesn't direct. I mean, it directly affects me now as a father of 4 girls and a fiance, but I can always like escape that situation. But yeah, that's the hormone that pumps through their body that like makes them like.
If guys get too much estrogen, they're just the ones that start crying for no reason. Yeah. Yeah, they grow titties and start crying. And that's why they start crying, because they look in the fucking mirror and they're like, we got titties, and start crying.
Yo, I mean, yeah. I don't know.
But those are all chemicals that people don't really talk about. Men and women are fucking different.
They are,
and there's always a battle of and this is mental health too. Like this is part of mental health. Like,
oh yeah,
we're always fighting with each other. I'm like, you don't understand me. We don't understand each other,
right?
And we need to just agree to disagree, because we don't. And
or just find a way to fucking make me understand what you're talking about.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But like it's.
Yeah, but sometimes we could explain ourselves and still not make any sense to the other.
I mean, that's facts. That's facts. I mean, it's vice versa. No, that makes sense.
The war in our mind is different from the war in a female's mind. And then when we talk about our war and they talk about their war, they're like, we look at their war as like we would fucking do that with our eyes closed. You know what I mean? In our mind, and our ego. Yeah, we could be completely wrong.
I could do that.
Yeah, we could be completely wrong. You know what I mean? But that's our ego. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like, when we talk about men, it's like we have that ego, and then that's where we got to kind of bring that ego down and just know that,
because it very quickly turns toxic.
It does, and it always does, and you notice it with everything. Like, in a political and everywhere it goes. It's just it does.
People who are like leading and acting on their egos generally tend to be toxic and destructive,
and that goes in relationships. There's a lot of domestic violence going on because of that same toxic.
Yeah, dude.
And people, people not understanding each other but staying with each other because
they're trauma bonded.
Yeah, it's weird. And but men need to start realizing that and women too, but we should never be in a relationship until we love ourselves. You know what I mean?
And a lot of people are so desperate for companionship and so desperate to not be alone that they would rather be in something like that than be alone for a little bit and figure out like, all right, who the fuck am I?
And I was like that for a very long time. When I was 30, I was in relationships from 16 all the way up to 30. All those years, I never had time to be by myself to find out who I was and what.
Damn, that's crazy, because that sounds exactly like me. We have bonded over, and I found so many similarities with this guy off camera and just in the conversation that we had when he got here. But yeah, I see a lot of similarities.
I think all men, we could agree to a lot of different shit, because we make a lot of the same mistakes, and when we're young and that testosterone fucking thing is flowing, we just want to look for a chick and have sex, and that's all in our mind. And it's like the battle of like, you hear the older guys say, hey, focus on sports or focus on art or focus on whatever the fuck you want to focus on, leave the girls alone. but you're just out here just humping on tables. You want to retire that, and you want to find a girl, and it's like it's a problem.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you get.
he said humping on tables.
I had to say something funny so I won't get all boring. Nah, so
it's true though.
No, and then you get you trying to look for a chick. You're young. The girls that are fucking 18 and 19 that it's your age have guys that are successful that are 25, 26, 27.
Which is disgusting.
But that's what's going on.
I know.
They're pulling up in everything and they're taking them out. They're spoiling them. So now you're competing with a 27-year-old that has this shit together and you're 18. So listen to the story. So you want to get the hot chick, but then you settle for like the girl that wants to take care of you and like
nurture you and help you.
And usually it's older women, which is weird. This is my experience. You know what I mean? And then you get in a relationship that you're really just forcing it because you want it to have sex. And then after a while, you guys become friends because you have that bond, and then you move in with them. And then you never went to that step of loving yourself. You left your sports behind, your dignity, everything. You left everything on the table just because you're horny. And then time goes by, and now you created a relationship with this person, and you're living with them, and you're not fucking happy. You created nothing. You wasted time just trying to have sex and be normal, like have a fucking normal life.
Generally feeling too guilty for trying to like break it off because you don't want to hurt the other person's feelings. You know what I'm saying? So like you'll sacrifice your entire being just so that way you don't have to have that awkward ass conversation.
No, right. And then you have a kid with her, years go by, and then you're like realizing like I'm not happy. This happened too fast. You're young, and where do I start now? And you see all your friends like, wow, my friends are success. I just saw Brian drive by in a Corvette, and you start seeing all this stuff, and then you start feeling like a loser. And then that person hates you because you don't like them. They're always, you guys are always toxic. And then you're back to square one, feeling depressed. And that's when, suicidal thoughts start coming in because you feel like a loser. You wasted all that time.
Right.
And then I'm kind of giving you my story, pretty much, kind of a little bit of my story.
This is fine. I love
this.
Get
closer to 30, and then you're like, yo, I didn't accomplish anything with my fucking life. And I'm like, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? So that was me. And then I really started fucking thinking about things.
Generally, when it starts happening, when you're like at your lowest, your back's against the wall, you got fucking nothing. Like that's when you're like, all right, how can I make some shit shake?
Yeah, because if you think about killing yourself and you don't kill yourself, you wake up the next day like, yo, that's a problem. I honestly thought about killing myself yesterday, and I was really about to do it. What can I do to make myself better?
Right.
And eventually, I don't know, man. Sometimes people don't like talking about God and stuff. And I'm a universe God person. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm more of like me. I feel like my conscience is God in the universe. You know what I mean? Like that motherfucker's in there. I don't know if it's a girl or a guy or if it's me, inside of another me.
Like one of them Russian dolls.
Yes. So I feel like God is deep down in that motherfucker, and then he talks to you and he guides you. And sometimes you kind of like pray to him. I pray to God. This is who I pray to. And I can't say he's a human. I just know it's a source that I feel inside. And I talk to him. I'm like, hey, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? And you won't hear shit for a long time. But sometimes
but you see things.
Sometimes he'll present things to you. And then the question came up and it was like, so Eddie, what do you like to do? And I was like, let me answer this question. And I started thinking, I'm like, I've always liked to cut hair. I always like to do art. I always like to do music. And then in my mind, it's like, that's it. Like, okay, go do it. It's that simple.
That's it. All you got. The hardest part is to start.
And then that's when I went and got I signed up for barbering school. I started doing art and posting it on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then I did my music just to channel my emotions. Like I don't look at music now. Like I got rap songs, but am I doing rap music to be this famous rapper? No, I'm doing it because it's one of the avenues I use to channel all my negative energy. And I like to listen to dark music.
Yep.
I'm a fan of fucking murders. I'm a fan of serial killers. I'm a fan of that shit. So
You're a true crime junkie then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's always crime time in this house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I like making music like that, like dark shit, and that's my that's my thing that I like to do.
So music fanboy here. Who do you listen to? Who's your like? Let's call it top 5.
All right. I mean, I listen to Eminem.
Okay.
I listen to. I like. It's kind of tough because I like listening to a lot of different people, but I like Jay-Z. I like Royce the 5'9".
Okay.
I mean, I like the whole Slaughterhouse.
Naturally. Yep.
I like Drake, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole.
So your big 3.
I like Griselda.
Okay.
I like
Yep.
OT the Real. I like to listen to him too.
OT the Real is dope. I don't hear many people talk about him.
And I bring him up because he has a very a different type of voice and approach to the way he's doing. I like that. And I like to mention underground people because there's some dope underground people.
So have you ever listened to like have you ever got into like Suicide Boys? Puya?
Yeah, I love Suicide Boys.
Okay. All right.
I actually know their manager.
No shit.
Yeah, I know their manager. Their manager used to manage Chris Webby.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to plug in, bro. I'm gonna need to plug in, bro, for real.
Yeah.
Or at least to tell him to.
I mean,
I have been.
You know how the music industry.
I do.
You know how the music industry.
I do.
It doesn't matter who the fuck you know.
Right.
If they act busy all the fucking time. And but I've made some paintings for some celebrities.
I've been trying to get the Suicide Boys, or at the very least, like Ruby, on the show. You know what I'm saying? I would love Scrim too. But
a lot of that shit is you going to them.
I've emailed them thrice now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
You're probably gonna have to really see him in person. I don't know. Believe it or not, the truth with that shit is you gotta. Hey, I'll give you $100,000.
Yeah, no, I know. I've got a.
Everything's fucking money.
I've got a guest that I'm actually trying to book, for Men's Mental Health Month, and I mean, there's obviously an appearance fee, but I mean, in the roster, I've got a couple of people that are like content creators that I guess you would call them famous content creators.
Yeah.
Like Gatelyn Robertson. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know him. I've been reaching out to him and talking to him, but that's like Suicide Boys were who I leaned on when I was at my lowest. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, they have great music.
When I ended up in the psych ward when I was like, it was like 2015. End of 2015. Mm-hmm. And I was there for a few weeks, mm-hmm. and somebody there was like, hey, you got to check these guys out. And mm-hmm. I was like, sure, why not? Right.
Yeah.
And dude, fucking loved it. And then watching them,
they're fucking real dope.
Watching their journey. Their journey has been absolutely incredible.
I know their manager.
It's
like they did it fast. It happened fast.
They did. And like what also helped, like
once they made it, it's just like
they're the biggest independent rap group in the world.
Yeah.
Like they're billions of streams at this point, I'm pretty sure. But like they're incredible, and like watching their sobriety journey has been great. My fiance just got sober back in September. So
Dana, that's their manager's name. I said Dom.
Dana Gray, right? Or Dana like
I don't know his last name. I know Dana.
Yeah, I think that's actually I have the email that I sent. But yeah, watching their sobriety journey, you know what I mean? Like when they dropped I Want to Die in New Orleans, or I Don't Want to Die in New Orleans.
Yeah.
That album was like they were at their worst, like their lowest, I guess. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. No, I'm sorry. I was looking for this fucking manager.
No, you're good. I'm pretty sure it is Dana because I remember that. I remember that being
for his Instagram to give it to you. But.
Gotcha. But I mean, it's been inspiring, and like seeing them at their lowest kind of, kept, fuck, all right, if these guys can do it, I can do it. You know what I'm saying?
No, right.
And
right.
like,
but that's what a lot of things, even like with Jelly Roll, I'm not the biggest Jelly Roll fan, but even with Jelly Roll, he's fucking, he came a long way.
He has, but be so for real right now. It would have been a lot easier for you to just walk in front of the camera. Anyways, I was a fan of Jelly Roll's like
Early
success story until I watched the what is her name, Nicole Arbor
Well,
series, The Jelly Files. Have you heard?
no, I'm not a fan of Jelly Roll.
I wasn't either. Like I thought like his journey was cool. Like he went from I remember listening to him in like old Mercury songs, you know what I'm saying? But then I was like, oh
He
yeah,
has some
cool.
good songs. He has good songs.
Great songs. And then you see like who he is outside of the spotlight, which I mean, I know none of us should be surprised because this is that they're entertainers for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But like some of the shit that she said, and this bitch brought proof, bro.
Yeah,
like
what
receipts. Like
what are you talking about?
So there was this one girl that came on to Bunny's podcast. And Bunny said some like really off the wall shit and like tried to get her to say some really off the wall shit and like wasn't about what the podcast was actually about. Bunny said it was going to be one thing, the old bait and switch, you know what I'm saying? And then like she released it and then she had some she's the girl that Ryan Upchurch. I don't know if you heard about that whole situation. He like sexually assaulted a girl or whatever. Yeah. So
I don't know shit about Jelly Roll. I just hear a couple of his songs, and then I saw a couple of things that he just.
Dude, I've been itching to talk about this.
I just think he's so corny. I think Jelly Roll's corny as hell.
Okay, my man, we agree on this. But so basically, Ryan Upchurch made some false allegations or whatever, saying that she was suing him when she wasn't suing him for what he said she was, and like it got crazy out of control and. Upchurch went to Jelly Roll and Bunny, and like they legitimately tried to take her out, bro. Like,
are you serious?
Swear to God, dude.
How is this not like a fucking federal case?
Because there's really it's circumstantial evidence, I guess is what they would call it. There's not concrete, you know what I'm saying? But they know. Yeah. But like he's gone up to her at like events, like celebrity events, and like has threatened to like. I give so much money that she has got out on video. I give so much money to this place. If you don't get her out of here, then I'm pulling all my money and I'm pulling all of this. I'm doing all. I'm like, this motherfucker's crazy, bro.
Yeah, no, I could see a piece of shit when I can sense a piece of shit when I see him. I think Jelly Roll's a piece of shit.
And
but he has some good songs.
Yeah. So, for sure. Like I can't. It's like Kanye. You know what I mean? Most people don't like Kanye. Most people don't like Kanye as a person, but they like him as an artist.
I love Kanye as a person and an artist. I just think sometimes you anger someone so much and he just wants to be like, fuck you all.
Right.
But whatever, I love Kanye, and I know that whole fucking Hitler shit was kind of like he was pissed off, but he was really pissed off at Adidas.
Yeah.
Yep. So like he just wanted to get off his contract.
Just do the thing, please. Just do the thing. You're creating. There you go. See how effortless that was?
The Kanye thing, he really went crazy because he just wanted to be let off the contract. And it happened. He just had, it's sad he had to do it that way. But he literally did it to get his contract terminated.
Yeah.
So I feel like people probably should forgive Kanye. I mean, like not take it that serious. The guy was literally under a contract that he couldn't make nothing happen with his products.
Right.
But whatever. I mean, I love Kanye, the artist, and it's horrible that he had to take it to that route.
Right.
And then we can't always be politically correct. You know what I mean?
No. I mean, I feel like there's a time and a place. You know what I mean? It's context is a huge like player in the situation. I guess it's like knowing the person saying it, knowing the context that it's being used in, and understanding that like jokes are jokes.
Well, this is the thing.
You know what I'm saying?
This is the thing.
Here's the thing.
I think everybody has a dark side to them. Some people use more of their good side, and we get to see a lot of that.
You're fucking lying if you say you don't.
I have a dark side, and I've done some fucked up shit too. And honestly, I'm always picking the good thing,
right?
Most of the time, because I know that me going the good thing, the return and investment is 100-fold compared to, and I'm talking about universal law. And then instead of doing the bad thing, that's gonna be, pretty much it's not good. The karmatic vibrations that come back with the bullshit you do. It's coming back.
Yeah.
There's
I love that word though. Karmatic vibrations.
Whatever.
We're gonna.
I probably made that shit up, but fucking,
it's fucking trademark that.
It's how I fucking feel, and but so listen, I like R. Kelly's music. He did some wild fucking shit that I do not respect, and I think he should be hanging for the things he did. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I love his music, and and then there's things like, with the whole let's talk about two presidents, Obama and fucking Trump, real quick. Like, I love some things that Trump does, and I hate some things that Trump does.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I love some things that Obama does, and I hated some things that Obama does, and everyone's out here like, I feel like if you tell someone you like something from someone, they're like, you support this guy, fuck you.
Yeah.
But
You support the whole thing instead of just.
When you talk about, Picasso, people love Picasso.
Mm-hmm.
No one talks about him being 70 years old with a 14-year-old girlfriend. You know what I mean? So it's like, I could give you a long list. Like, we love Martin Luther King for everything he did. But he also had some fucked up things. He was always he was partying with women. You know what I mean? He had a women problem.
Mm.
Same thing with fucking Malcolm X. In the beginning, he had domestic disputes, but then he became this great man, and we love him for that. So what I'm saying is, same thing with Bush. Everybody hated Bush in 9/11, but now you start seeing a softer side. He's an artist, and he's older, and he kind of like apologized for that time in presidency,
right?
And we kind of love that dude. I love President Bush, especially because he's an artist.
Yeah,
and like recently he came out, and you see the genuine, him like kind of like feeling sorry for him being the president he was back in those days, or whatever. But what I'm saying is, I think we just need to go back to, and the world needs to, America needs to heal, because of all this bullshit that's been going on, the war. And I think we just need to go back to loving each other and agreeing to disagree. And like, we're all human, and we just need to understand each other. Kind of like How to Train a Dragon. Remember, you guys ever watched that movie?
I watched, yeah.
Where it's like they didn't understand the dragons, and then these people, like, they eventually got together and they understood the dragons, and they all got along, and they realized they're powerful together.
Mm-hmm.
That's what America needs to fucking
There's
do.
strength in numbers.
We need to love Black people. We need to love Asians. We need to love Indians. We need to love Latinos. We need to love white people, Polish. We all need to try to understand each other first.
Agreed.
And fucking, and I think, we're going to be a stronger fucking country. Like, right now, we're not strong. We're fucking weak as fuck. Yep. We look silly as fuck. And I'm only telling you this because I've been to different countries. Immediately they're just like, you guys are looking crazy.
We are literally the laughing stock of the entire world.
We really are.
Like, people are like, oh yeah, go fucking America. Like, you, but you're literally
it's because of us as fucking humans.
Yep,
like, we're all fighting each other.
Yeah,
and I think that's the biggest problem we have right now. And it stems from the mental health thing. Like, everyone's just going crazy. Like, like we were talking about the gay community going against the straight community, and everyone. It's like, we just need to figure out ways to love each other and help each other out.
Yeah. I mean, if we spent more time trying to understand the people around us rather than putting ourselves first and acting so fucking greedy all the time.
I'm always trying to give compliments to people. Anytime I meet someone, I don't care who you are, what color you are, I'm always trying to compliment people, because I want people to feel good. And I know if I make someone feel good, I feel good. Like, Absolutely. The other day, I went to a group, some group of men that are dealing with some DCF stuff. And one of my friends works for the company, and they wanted me to go talk to the guys because I could relate to them. I went through all that stuff.
Same here.
And when I went there and I spoke to these guys for an hour, and at first they weren't really like fucking with me, and then at the end of the conversation, they like respected me and appreciated me and like understood. I left that building feeling so freaking incredible, like if I had $100 million check, because I gave them value, and in return they appreciated my value, which gives me value.
Right,
me feeling appreciated makes me feel incredible. Like,
and all of that cost you nothing.
It costs nothing for either of us, and we left all feeling like fucking wealthy people with more knowledge and more power and more motivation and inspiration and I think we always worry about the dollar bill and we never think about the universal fucking money that's out there. The low bearing hanging fruit, you know what I mean, like, which is pretty much make someone else feel better.
Yeah, I mean it goes a long way. Like you had mentioned things coming back 100-fold and doing that, and like when you're presented with these two choices, you obviously have the fun, easy choice that's gonna really fuck you 10 years down the road. And a lot of people, it's just easy, it's temptation, it's right there. But like choosing, you know, something that might be a little bit more difficult, like, all right, shit, I can't make this happen now, but like in 6 months down the road when you're least expecting it, like shit gets good.
You know, and I think everyone needs to know you have to, all right, before you do any of these things, you have to build a foundation with a system that gets your day started. Mine is going to the gym, working out, listening to motivational speeches, or if I'm not doing that, I'm listening to audiobooks. Those are my things. You know what I mean? Outside of trying to drink fucking water. Everyone talks about water. So I fucking try to drink a bunch of water.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
stay hydrated.
But it's all the same motivational shit. I sound like a broken record. All these motherfuckers say the same thing, but it's true. You get up, you know, you do something hard. Get up early, go to the fucking gym, drink water, say some positive shit, prepare, love yourself. And then when you step out the door, now it's your job to make everyone feel incredible.
Right.
You know what I mean? First, make yourself feel incredible and then go spread to the world and spread that shit, you know, and then come back home, say thank you, God, for fucking another great day, and go to sleep and wake up and say thank you for waking me up. And same thing for fucking ever and ever and ever. It's not like a season thing, like where some people like, I was going to the gym for 6 months and then I'm like, I'm good, I haven't done it in a while. It's a lifestyle thing. It's an everyday thing. You're supposed to work on yourself, love yourself, and then love everyone else. Simple.
In that order. Because you can't pour from an empty cup.
You can't pour from an empty cup. And some people be like, that's selfish, but like I take care of me before I take care of my children. And that doesn't mean I wake up on the same time as my children and be like, fuck you guys, I'm going to go brush my teeth. It means I wake up earlier than my children and my family. I brush my teeth and get what I need to get done and get home by 6 a.m. to wake my kids up, my family up, and help them.
Right. Yep. Yeah, a lot of people don't talk about that, and a lot of people don't admit to that. You know what I mean? Because
you got to dissect. There's so much to dissect, and someone that's successful. Like I consider myself successful not because of money. I consider myself successful because I built a system that fulfills me. You know what I mean? And when you're successful, like I own 2 barbershops, art business. I'm always fucking making money. I'm always doing something.
Right.
You start realizing the money is just a tool. You grab the money. You invest it, you keep crumbs to feed your family, buy food, smoke weed, whatever the fuck it is you do. And then you invest the rest. And then it's a fucking cycle. You grab money, you invest, you take crumbs, you do it again. You know what I mean? And then some crumbs, you get bigger crumbs, and then you can buy a bigger house, and then you can buy a nicer car or take more vacations with the crumbs you're getting from all this work. But it's an engine, and the people fail in business. Now we're talking about business, but a lot of people fail in business because let's say you get a $30,000 check, you put that in your bank and you fucking spend it all. But instead of $30,000 check, you cut it in half for taxes, and then you cut it in half for investments, and then you cut it in half to pay all your bills, and then you end up with crumbs.
Right.
And that's the real thing. Like a lot of people come up to me thinking they got all this fucking money. and I do have money, but a lot of my money is reinvested. A lot of my money is reinvested. Like I got another barbershop. I fucking
it's not like you're just sitting on everything liquid.
I have 5 fucking children. I have
every single one of them costs a literal arm and a leg.
Yeah, and then you got, the 2 barbershops. That takes money. Then it got the art business where I got to constantly, replenish the spray cans, the art materials, and all that.
Yep.
I wrote a comic book. It cost me $7,000 to publish. You know what I mean? I had like,
God damn.
I had a real DC artist do the cover. You know what I mean?
Oh shit, that's impressive.
And I had a real but these are things that the comic book that is it making me rich? No, I haven't even really been pushing it, but it's something I wanted to do when I was a kid. So I fucking did it, and I ruptured my Achilles last year, and I had some downtime. And I'm big on when I'm going through something dramatic to use that time and find inspiration to do something incredible. So that the comic book came from me rupturing my Achilles.
For sure.
Yeah, and I do that with a lot. Like my a lot of my success came from a lot of pain that I use as inspiration to become incredible. In my sense, like to me, what I've done is incredible because I know I'm probably the only one that knows how deep and dark I was. I could tell you the story, but
right, but I could never experience
in the
it.
closet with a belt, thinking about I'm about to kill myself.
Yeah,
how dark that is, you're never gonna understand. You know what I mean?
No, and I mean you could have very similar circumstances and very similar situations, and the way that every person individually reacts and processes the situation is completely different. You know, stubbing your toe might be an end of the world crisis for somebody, but it's, you know, just another fucking, you know, it's nothing to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It's like the way we process everything is different. So all of these situations vary by person.
What's your morning routine? What's your daily routine for mental health? Like to because we all wake up with immediate mental health problems. So like we're thinking like, first of all, the battle is I don't want to get up. Mm-hmm. That's the first battle. I never listen, if I get up excited to be up, I love that day. I'm like, damn, thank you for making me feel this way, because I hate getting up in the morning. I'm not a morning person.
I'm not either.
So the first battle is getting up early, right?
Yep.
And then like the next battle is like, all right, I gotta try to get hydrated. And then after that is like, all right, I need to do something active.
Mm. Yeah, unfortunately,
do you have a system in the morning?
I don't. I mean, it's a system, but it's not dude, I wake up, I hit the bathroom, I get dressed, and I'm generally out the door for work.
Yeah.
Cause like, yeah, well, the last week or so, I was like making coffee at the house, or Haley was making coffee at the house. She like makes my lunch in the morning. So like, that's real cool. So, I mean, I'm either getting coffee at Dunkin' or I'm drinking my coffee on the way to work. And then that's really, I kind of just raw dog my day.
Yeah.
Like that. You know what I mean?
So you just need to build more of a tighter system with yourself.
Oh, for sure. But like my nights get so congested with shit that like, by the time I'm ready to settle down, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, it's 9:30, 10 o'clock. And like most times I'm still in my work clothes.
Right. I'm similar. I can relate to that 100%.
So in my life, my day to day, because I've got 2 kids in softball, 1 kid's on 2 teams. You know what I'm saying? So like,
listen, I know.
It's never the same week to week, day to day, hour to hour. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hate to say it, but I can't wait for school to be over and soccer to be over with my daughters, because school and soccer take so much fucking time.
Oh yeah.
You
like precious time.
Picking up, dropping off. My daughters don't take the bus. I pick them up and drop them off. I take them to their soccer, and then those soccer practices be an hour and a half each.
Yeah. Like dude, I had to do softball practice tonight. She was there 5 o'clock, 5:15, and we didn't get out till about just shy of 7 o'clock. Mm-hmm. I got to come home. Thank God Haley like cleaned up before, because if you saw this house before we left, it was a disaster. But we did that. I came back, and then like I got to get them fed. I still got to get them, you know, ready for bed, get them up in bed, and then I still got to set this up. You know what I'm saying? So right. Like,
and then there's parents that need to see this, because you're not alone. We're all battling. You know, we're all battling that parenting part.
Mm-hmm.
And we were joking, like sometimes you want to take a break. Like there's no taking a break from being a parent.
No.
And not, even if you drop them off at school, you're still being a parent, because you worry about them. Like, I hope they're okay.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
Like being a parent is like 124-hour, 7 days a week job.
Yeah. I mean, and especially while they're at school now with the amount of like school shootings and like just lockdowns and
shit. How much I worry about that?
Oh my God, dude.
I worry about that a lot. I shake it off, but I worry about that shit a lot. And especially it's getting closer and closer to home.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that Sandy Hook shit traumatized me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what 25 minutes from where you're at? 30?
45, but
Okay.
still, it's in Connecticut and it's happening. And what's to say not that it won't happen in our towns? You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, and thankfully
There's a kid like that kid in every town.
Oh yeah,
And
1000%.
that kid just lost it and had access to weapons. You know, maybe this kid that's going through the same thing that guy is going through doesn't have access to weapons, but now weapons being thrown around, they're everywhere. Black market, you know, clean market,
Mhm.
you know, weapons are everywhere. So it's like, okay, is it, what are these, you know, what are we doing? And then they're taking funding away from the schools. A lot of shit's going on, dude.
It's a lot of so much
We
shit.
could get into so many deep conversations about
so many,
and that's mental health too. Like mental health is so broad.
It is, and there's so many variants and so many variables in life that like play a massive part on it that you don't really think about, like the worrying yourself to death that somebody's gonna go shoot up your kid's fucking school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thankful that I live in a decent town. You know what I mean? A fairly quiet town, but like it's still nerve wracking that somebody's just gonna go in
But
there.
it happens in towns like this.
It does. It does
because the parents are so busy. You know, when you look at Newtown, right? It was Newtown.
Mhm.
Those parents were never home, right? It wasn't the parents were always working.
Yep.
And then like when you see all these big houses, you're like, how are they affording that? It's because they're never
Because they're never home. They
working.
don't get to enjoy the house. It's
And then
just
the kids home with the nanny.
latchkey kids, man.
And those are the kids that need that. They I'm pretty sure they feel like they live in a bubble, and they're awkward. I don't know. And who knows? But we need to try to figure out how to help those kids out too.
Yeah, no kidding. Because it's
kids. That's why, you know, we're talking about kids. Kids are the most important thing.
That's
in
it.
The world, and we gotta, you know, protect them, and we gotta love them, and we gotta not, you know, use them, abuse them, and mistreat them, and honestly, like, give them paradise on earth. I think every child deserves a paradise on earth. And
Absolutely.
then, you know, if you decide to fuck up and make wrong choices, those are on you. You know, when you get into older ages and you start like making the fucked up choices, that's on you. But children are so fucking innocent, and all they want to do is love and play. And then, you know, there's no mean kids at the end of the day. That's all taught.
Absolutely.
You know, that anger is taught. You know, the
hatred.
The hatred is taught. Yep. Racism is taught. We know that. And I know that because I remember my first friend was black, and he wasn't just a regular black kid. He was a dark black kid, you know, and I never thought of him being black. I just remember that was my best friend. And it's just true. You know, we just all got to fucking really start helping these kids out, because a lot of these kids are going through so much at home.
So much.
They're seeing their parents they're all drug addicts, and a lot of parents are drug addicts.
Or they're all drunk.
They're drunks, or not even, let's say there's no if there's no fucking, let's say there's no alcohol or drug abuse, there's no love. Sometimes the parents are just working and busy, and they don't have no love and affection, so they don't see no love and affections from the mom and parents. You know, they're probably having dinner with just mom because dad's working, or vice versa. It's a tough world. So I feel like somehow in some way we just got to keep raising the voice for them to like, well, I mean, sometimes inspire adults. And that's, I do my thing because there's not too many great parents out there. There's like, it might be a 50-50, right? As far as parenting goes, like, I don't know the statistics, but I know that I see a lot of bad parenting, and I probably made some bad choices too, but it's all about more of what's going on.
I agree. But I think it's less bad and more lazy.
There's still kids getting beat bad.
No, that's facts. No, that's
just because we don't see it, it doesn't mean it ain't happening. And there's kids still going hungry. And there's kids that probably are still preferring to be at school than home. For sure. We just don't see it no more because nobody opens up about it.
Right, because the first thing they're doing is calling DCF about it.
Right, and they're not going to the barber and saying, "Hey, my mom didn't feed me today." You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, valid.
You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know. I know it's all fucking rabbit hole stuff when you go into the mental health because it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like that movie Inception.
Yeah.
That's I could compare mental health to that because there's always a new world underneath that world, and it's peeling the onion. And it's like you keep going deeper and deeper.
It's just an onion that doesn't stop.
We could talk, and if I touch on a sensitive topic, you'll start tearing without control. If you touch on a certain topic with me, I'll start tearing. I'm like, fuck, I can't control this shit. It's just that's sensitive. You know what I mean? It just depends.
It's happened on the show. It's happened to me on several occasions.
Me too. It's happened to me on a podcast, and then I honestly get really mad at myself. I'm like, this fucking person just saw me tear up. Because I try to hold this,
but there's that toxic masculinity. We try to hold that stoicism, or I think that's the word. I think I pulled that out of my ass. But
stoicism. I think that we all have that child in us, and then when you peel onions back down to that child, that's when you start tearing because you feel bad for that 9-year-old that was you. And now you're like fighting for someone that like my fight is always for someone that's going through what I was going through. You know what I mean? Single parent household, mom always working. I kind of like was watching my brother and sister when I was 9. I had no one to run to. My dad wasn't around. I never met him until I was 19, you know? So it was like one of those things where it's like, when I go back to that, I know there's a kid that's going through that right now, and I want to be able to reach him. Right before it's too late, before it was like, okay, now I'm hanging out with a bunch of kids doing drugs, and God knows where that would take me. And you see it all the time with the YNs, like the dudes that are robbing cars, doing drugs, shooting people. Like that's happened. That could have been me if I didn't stop where I was going. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I
think my sole purpose is work. Like I work with kids with autism, but my sole purpose is to inspire someone like me to, before it's too late, to become great and find out what they are and who they are. That's what everyone needs to do.
I love that. That's it's not really the forefront on people's minds these days. You know what I'm saying? I think we're on the path of letting down this next generation more than the generation before us.
I mean, because look what's everything social media and what's being marketed is sex, drugs, fucking fashion. A lot of that shit is
it's all materialistic.
And then like they made breaking the law cool, even though it's not cool. They'll make what we think is cool, like a rapper, go to jail. And they that all the rapper lifestyles that I've noticed, like they attack the urban community with that type of lifestyle, and everyone thinks the Gucci belts. Like I see high school kids with Balenciagos.
That's crazy.
And they're like $1,200 sneakers, and I'm like, who the fuck is teaching you this shit? That is the fucking craziest shit to spend $1,200 on a pair of sneakers
for a kid,
instead of investing that and teaching them about investments.
Right.
And then by the time they're done with high school, they might have money in bonds that could potentially pay for their college, but these people are out here just teaching their children that, and I think we need to somehow do better.
We need to correct that.
People see me and like, you dress like you know, you dress like very like I'm always in gym clothes, and I honestly dress like this to show a fucking kid that you don't have to be flashy as fuck to get respect and look good. And you can literally buy a piece of like a $5 t-shirt, and as long as you like work out and you're about something, you're attractive. You know what I mean? They don't need to spend all this money on clothes to feel wanted or attractive, or
just the presence that you command.
Stupid. Yeah. And then these kids are doing that, and no one's teaching them about fitness. They're not talking about just like better choices with food, because food gives you, you know, mental health, like a lot of sugar, a lot of fried
artificial dyes.
Food gives you anxiety, bad anxiety. And then you're on medication for bad anxiety, and then now you're just destroying your mental health because now you're on medication. You think you need this medication, but really you just need to stop eating all this fucked up food, all this processed food. And I know, like, sometimes, like I said, my diet isn't perfect. And I know sometimes when I have some type of anxiety feeling, it's because I'm eating too much. Seriously, when I eat too much, like I'm over my calorie intake, I could start feeling anxiety and bloated, and it fucks with your mind. Food
I never even like really thought about it. I knew that it did on like that level, but I never really like, I guess it was my ignorance. I never really just cared to really break it down like that.
Like McDonald's, all the food that's acidic.
Oh man,
I like Big Mac. I like Big Macs. I ate a Big Mac the other day. I love fast food, but I try not to do it. I'll do it once every 6 months. But so if you constantly eat acidic food all the time, you're not on there's no balance. You need to be eating food that's alive to really add some type of energy to your body. You know what I mean? So I do it, like I said, I'm not perfect. Like, I do acidic food, but I know that when I'm doing too much of it, I'm like, okay, let me just start eating more fruits and drinking more water and kind of balance that out. Because sometimes you get acid reflux. When you get that means that your body is just too acidic. And then just that fucks with your whole system. That's why mental health is so deep, because it goes down to everything: mind, body, and soul.
I have a feeling that this is not going to be the first episode that you're on, the one and only, because there's so many aspects of this that you can really break down.
It's hard. It's hard because when you start looking at everything you need to do to be up here, like vibrating at these high levels, it's a lot.
It's overwhelming.
You gotta take fucking vitamins. You gotta fucking drink water. You gotta work out. You gotta meditate. Then after all that, you gotta find a masseuse to fucking massage your knots because of your working out. And then you got to find a chiropractor to align your back. And then, so you got all this. You got a chiropractor. You got to go to a dentist. You got to go to a fucking naturopath or a doctor. It's not easy being human. I don't know how people do it. They don't realize. That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't realize, like, bro, you need all these things to live a fulfilled life. You feel at top tier, you need to have all those things.
Agreed.
And then at the end of that, if you're an entrepreneur, you need to have a lawyer. So how you're gonna, everyone wants to be all this incredible person, which is capable, and we're all fighting. I think we all should be fighting to be the best we can be, right? Like,
absolutely.
Like, people play video games and they level up the character, right? We should be leveling up our life. Like at 40 and 50, we should have plans. Like, I want this and I want to be here. And then when you see, okay, the only way I could get up there is the person. You got to become the person, and then becoming the person is, how do I become that person? Well, then you look at the mentors that are out and they're telling you what they did. And I'm like, oh shit, it takes all that. And then you start doing it because there's, you're at the rock bottom. So you have no other choice. You're at rock bottom. Let me just try this or stay at rock bottom. So then you start trying this, and little by little, I was sleeping in my car 11 years ago, and this is just bullshit story. Everybody said I was sleeping in my car at home. I was sleeping in my car, and not because I couldn't sleep in my mom's house. I was sleeping in my car because I didn't want to bring problems to my mom, and I wanted to face my issues on my own. So I slept in my car just to not go bother my mom, because I always had a place to live. Even my sister gave me a place to live at one point. But at one point, I was like, I'm just gonna figure this out. I would park my car at the Edge Fitness at nighttime to go to sleep, because it was 24 hours and it kind of camouflaged with all the cars. And then at 4 a.m, I would wake up, go work out, take a shower, and then go to work. For a while, I did that. Then I got myself a little office space. I remember telling the guy, like, hey, I need a place I could do art. He's like, okay, I don't want nobody living here. I'm like, I'm not going to live in here. I just did art. But I did live in there for a while. Yeah. But in the same building, there was an apartment on the top floor. So I saved up little by little. And then I got my apartment at the top floor. So it's like I climbed all off of having the routine of getting up early and going to the gym. It gave me the motivation to keep going every day. And then, I met my wife, and then we bought a beautiful home together. And then I got my first barbershop. Now I got my second barbershop. At first I was doing art pieces for a couple $100. Now I'm doing pieces for $1,000. Now I'm doing murals for $20,000. That's impressive. I kept climbing the fucking ladder, and I'm still climbing the ladder, all because I started going to the gym every morning and waking up as a foundation. and gym, motivational speeches, and books that they would recommend, like marketing, branding, how to treat people, fucking all that shit, psychology. Like I don't read books, but I listen to books, and I probably have like 300 to 400 books in my fucking library that I've listened to.
That's impressive.
And I applied everything I learned from these books to everything I do. And I went from, true story, from sleeping in my car to being a successful entrepreneur. And I'm still climbing. I'm still in a very middle area. But
dude, you're getting there. That's awesome.
The main goal to me was always to be self-employed. I didn't care if I made $500 a week. I just wanted to be self-employed.
You wanted it to be your $500.
Right. I just wanted to be me. No one tell me what to do, how to do it.
Right.
I wanted to use all my own ideas. I was tired of not getting the respect I felt I deserved in jobs that I was working at. So I just wanted to be self-employed. And after that, now it's like I want to build an empire.
Dude, that's it, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. I just looked at the time here. We're definitely over, but this isn't done. You know what I mean? I definitely want you back here. I want to have more of these conversations with you, because like I feel like we're getting into layers that we haven't even gotten to in the entire 6 months that we've been on the show, really. I mean, we've gotten, obviously more than surface level on several occasions with a few of my guests, but really to peel back the layers that we've done tonight, I think we're making great strides, and I really can't wait to see what, the next 6 months has in store for us. Cause we're not going to be in this kitchen for sure by that point. You know what I'm saying?
It's all about growing. And as long as you're growing, even if it's little growth, you feel great about yourself. Yeah. I'm the type of person that I'll get a win and I feel like great that day. And then tomorrow I'm like, okay, I feel like shit again.
Right.
How do I win again? How do I get that feeling? And I'm addicted to that feeling.
Absolutely.
But well, yeah, you'll be good.
Eddie, my guy,
thank you.
It's been a pleasure. I really thank you for making the trek down here. And sitting here and opening up and kind of getting into your life story and doing all that, dude. It's been a great time.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll definitely get you back up here, dude. It's been great. It's your boy Troy. We got Eddie in the house. Catch us live next Monday. I don't remember exactly who I have on, but I will post it at some point in the coming days. But you guys have a great rest of your night, and I will catch you guys on next Monday. Peace.
That was pretty